And we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're watching this live or you're watching it later on. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, We Love Comics. And I got another batch of my 4 comics from PGX back already. I just did one about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago with my Mark Jewelers variants, and overall pretty happy about the results. Although they were a little bit lower than I was hoping, but hey, you know me, I don't complain about the grades, especially if they are fair, and I look forward to doing this each and every time. It's my one chance to look forward to mail that isn't a bill, and I get to do an unboxing reveal with you. I do not know the grades, never do. I like to find out as I do the video, so you're going to see the grade actually before I do. So hopefully you are in for the ride and ready to come in and join the live chat. If you see by my AI art, and if you want to leave a comment about it, good, bad, or indifferent, please leave a comment, and I always read your comments and appreciate each and every one of them. If you look on the bottom of the screen, you'll see scrolling by books like Amazing Fantasy 15, Batman 2, Wonder Woman 1, and other comics that I'm looking to acquire via a trade with another YouTuber or someone on the internet that doesn't want to get taxed for buying a comic, may not have the money to be able to buy a comic, and would like to do a big trade where it is mutually beneficial, and showing my subscribers that if you don't give up, eventually you will succeed. So if you know anybody that has any of these comics, have them come to my channel and check out all my videos, because I did a video back in November showing roughly about 30 graded comics that I'd be willing to trade for any or all of these books that I'm having scroll by. But nothing is off the table, and at the very least you can ask. So if you see a comic that wasn't in that video that you think might make you'd want to do a trade, by all means, please ask me about it, and we'll see what happens. But contact me, peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. As always, one of the newest things I just started to do recently is for my Patreon members, and I actually did acquire a new Patreon member yesterday. So welcome. What I do is, if you join my Patreon for as little as $1 a month, so the bare minimum, I will do every single video from here on out, as long as you're a Patreon member, a shout out. Now, I will only do abbreviation of your name or your YouTube channel unless you specifically tell me it's okay to put out the information. One of the 5 has given me permission, and I will do this every time as long as somebody's a Patreon member. Now, I always tell people, and this is my personal belief, you do not have to go to my Patreon to get exclusive content, because I do not believe personally somebody having to pay extra just for the privilege of information. Every secret, every video, every bit of information I've ever given is on this channel. You just got to look at under the playlists to find anything specifically. Like I showed tattoos for Amazing Spider-Man 238. I talk about my tips for how to win on eBay, and my advice on sales. Books that I have recommended years ago that are still relevant today. So my Patreon is for people who want to help support my channel, help me be able to continue doing this strong. It helps pay for, PGX now charges me $50 a month plus the shipping costs to get the books graded. So that's helping me be able to continue to do that, because many of you seem to love this as much as I do. And helps to support the between 15 and 25 cats, depending on the day, stray cats that I feed. So let's give our Patreon members a shout out. We got Carl, we got Sith, we got Scott, we got our newest member, Michael B, as in boy. So Michael B, welcome to the We Loves Comics Patreon page. I appreciate your support. I will never tell the dollar amounts, because that's a personal thing between you and I, unless you want to disclose it. I try and keep things privately for you guys, and I just want to let you know I appreciate it. And last but not least, Silver Age Surfer _comics on Instagram. Now, he's gotten, I believe, unless other people didn't notify him, at least 2 new people on his Instagram, because he's messaged me each time. So, you know, to you and I, maybe one new person may not seem like a big deal, but Silver Age Surfer is very happy and actually emailed me both times to thank me for getting him an Instagram follower. So if you have Instagram, go to Silver Age Surfer _comics. Go check out his page. Go follow his Instagram page. And tell him We Love Comics sent you. Because what may not seem like a big deal to you could mean everything to somebody else. So I would take it as a personal favor to please go and support Silver Age Surfer at Silver Age Surfer _comics on Instagram. And again, with Carl Sith, Scott, and now Michael B. as my newest Patreon member, if you guys have a Facebook page or an Instagram account or an eBay auction site, if you want me to, instead of just saying a shout out to your name, give a link or mention something like I do with Silver Age Surfer, contact me, because that's a benefit of being a Patreon member. So it's my way of giving back, and trust me when I say people appreciate things that you might take for granted or not think is a big deal. So again, Carl Sith, Scott, and Michael B., they haven't told me anything other than just their names, so I'm honoring that unless they tell me otherwise. But Silver Age Surfer told me to list it as Instagram, his Instagram account, and I have no problem with doing that. So if you think about it, if you have, for example, an eBay page, and you contribute $1 a month to my Patreon, and you get 1 or 2 sales out of it because of it, well, you just invested $1 to advertise to get some sales, which is, by the way, tax deductible if you own your own businesses. That's why it always pays to have your own businesses and stop working for the man or for the woman, and have your own personal freedoms. So with that out of the way, let me put on the video camera, and I want to thank the people that are here right now for the comic unboxing. And as usual, for those that may be new to my channel, I've been doing this now for about 6+ years, ever since I was living in New York, which, by the way, it's about 95 degrees here right now in Florida. It's definitely a little warm. But I am allowed to have 4 books sent in every month. I've been doing it every month for, like I said, over 6 years now, almost 6.5 at this point. And they allow me, it's now $50. I pay $50 to get everything graded, but it includes pressings, dry cleanings, signature verification if need be, and 2 of the comics have multiple signatures on the books. Also includes grader's notes on the back of the slab, which was my idea. And one of the things, one of the many things I like about PGX and Daniel Patterson, the owner of PGX, is they actually listen to somebody like me, a little nobody that makes YouTube's videos where 36 people to 300 people might watch at the completion of the video uploading. I like companies that actually want to work and listen to their customer. You may not always agree with everything that goes on with the company, but you know what? I'm straightforward here. I do not get paid by them. There is no contract signed, so I am under no obligation to say anything but my shared experience. Every single PGX unboxing I've done for the past 6 to 6.5 years is on this channel, unedited. Every single one of them is live, so you can see not one, knock on wood, comic has ever come back damaged. And I think out of the 4 comics every month for over 6 years, there was maybe 4 comics I did not agree with the grade and actually had them resubmitted, and only 1 comic where they made a mistake with the, 2 comics where they made a mistake with a label. Now that happens with every company, but 2 of them in total, in over 6 years of doing this every single month. If you want to give them a try, there's links in the description, but if you use the code We Love Comics Free Press and send 10 or more books to PGX, you can get one of them pressed for free. I always mention to people, specify what book you would like pressed, otherwise they'll just randomly pick one of the 10. It could be more than 10 that you send in, but there has to be at least 10 to get that that free pressing. Make sure you indicate that when you send in your invoice. Also, if you would like to add the grader's notes to the back of the slab, which I love doing and I wish all companies would do it, it's $5 charge per book. Use the code We Love Comics Grader's Notes, and they'll add the grader's notes on the back of the slabs. So, with that being said, excuse me, And if you, by the way, with the Patreon, if you want to join my Patreon, I put the link in the live chat. It is also in the description. And for those who don't want to look at that or can't look at it for whatever reason, just go to patreon.com/WeLoveComics with no spaces, and you can actually check that out if you want. Now, I don't know if my screen, on my end, it's showing it frozen. So if anybody sees anything different, let me know. Otherwise, I'll continue on from here. But we got the box right here. It is unopened. Now, there's only 4 books in here. And look at the size of the box that they ship everything in. So there are sometimes they actually put it in a priority mailbox. And that's perfectly fine. But these books are always well protected. And there are 4 books in here. I am really looking forward to unveiling the grades. Like I said, I do not know what the grades are. So, like I said before, you'll probably see before I do what they end up being. So hopefully you guys can see. If somebody can let me know in the live chat if things are going smoothly, because on my end it shows frozen, but that happens a bunch of times on my computer because I have an old computer. And even though it's frozen on my end, you guys can still see me. So if anybody can let me know, it'd be appreciated in the live chat. So, as you can see here, they come with the bags. They keep them separate. They don't fold them, so there's no bends. They always end up giving an extra one for some reason, but I'm happy about that because you can always use them. They're the resealable ones that cover completely over. And packing peanuts all over the place. You saw the paper on top, then, and there's paper on the bottom as well. Trying to keep this from having those packing peanuts all over the place. So then everything's wrapped. The 4 comics is wrapped in bubble wrap, and then there is a blue cellophane where they wrap all the comics together, which minimizes the bouncing around, you know, with FedEx or UPS or whoever they send with. I think it's always FedEx. Keep it from basically clanking together, which could cause damage to a slab. So very appreciative of them going above and beyond. All right, so Douglas says we're good, so thank you for that. I appreciate that. So that's just on my end. I have a very old computer that is so old it cannot update to Windows 11. So eventually my computer is probably going to be obsolete. All right, so you can see massive amounts of bubble wrap. And then, like I said, there's this blue cellophane, which keeps these from moving around during shipment. Because if these are loose, they could bounce around, scrape around, and that's what happens. That could make a slab crack. Because remember, these things, all these companies, they are plastic. So they always do a great job. And that's why I do this live, so there's no trickery, there's no hidden cameras, there's no, you know, trying to change things to be dishonest in one way, shape, or the form. I just share my results and then let you decide if this is something good for you. Now, I do see they put the blue tabs back on again, so that's good. So again, I do not know the grades. I'm going to go over what I paid for them, the significance of the book, of course, and what my predictions were. And I do that also every month before I send out. So in the next day or so, I'll be doing a video of the 4 books I'm going to be sending this month to both PGX and then 2 books to EGS. So I always say what I think the grade is going to be. Now, that's always what I think it's going to be after a pressing. So pressings, depending on the problems, could really increase the grade of a book. And I always recommend to people, I mean, unless you have a book that looks like it's going to be a 9.9, I highly recommend, no matter what company you get your books graded with, get your books pressed. Because it's just going to make it that much better. All right, so let's start with the first one. And thank you to anybody that hit the like button. This is a book. I made a deal with this person. We went back and forth a little bit. This book has 4 signatures, and I will go over that once I reveal the grade. But this, of course, is New Mutants 98. I've been sending in a lot of my New Mutants 98 books because, of course, with the New Mutants, with the Deadpool and Wolverine movie looking pretty good. And by the way, I actually pre-ordered tickets. So this is the first movie that I'm actually going to the movie theater for. The last movie I went to was the Sony Spider-Verse movie. So hopefully Disney will see the amount of money they'll make on this movie and really say, you know what, maybe we should stop the DEI stuff that over the past 2 or 3 years has not really helped us financially, and their customer base didn't really like as a whole, and maybe start to change things around. So I thought, I was kind of conflicted with it because I really don't want to give Disney money, but at the same time, if it's for something I thought would be in the right direction, that could be, showing your vote via your wallet. What you do is up to you, but I'm actually looking forward to it. All right, so this has 4 signatures. I paid with shipping and handling and taxes $615 for this book. It has 4 signatures, like I said, which I will go over. They do signature verification at PGX. I predicted between a 9.2 and a 9.6 with white pages. Again, it kind of ranges sometimes because it depends on if the book has a lot of pressable defects. Now, of course, if something has a color break in it, that doesn't matter. But, if you have non-color breaking creases, or sometimes, you get those wave-like patterns due to moisture maybe, pressings can really dramatically help those. So always get your books pressed. All right, so let's see what the grade is. Is this a newsstand? No, it's a regular version of this book, but even though there's a lot of prints of this book, how many of them have 4 signatures? All right, let's see what the grade is for book number 1. All right, so we got 9.2. So that's at the bottom end of what I predicted, and that is perfectly fine. So they did the signature verification, signed by Fabian Nisleza. I'm sure I butchered that. Somebody correct me if they want to. Tom DeFalco, Rob Liefeld, and the late, great Stan Lee. So I think even at a 9.2, and I said white pages, off-white to white pages. Now, I usually don't get that 100% right. But they verified the signatures. So 4 signatures verified. 9.2. How many books do you know have multiple signatures, including Stan Lee? Because the other artists, as far as I know, are still all alive. So you can get those 3, but you can't get any Stan Lee anymore. So 9.2. Would I love a 9.6 or 9.8? Sure, but if it's not worthy of it, I don't want to get that. So, still happy. Let me know what you think. Would you have paid that price? I think I'll do pretty decent with that. Oh, I don't even have to cover it anymore. This is a book I've never owned before. This is Spawn number 1. This is the black and white variant. Now, this came out, I believe, like 5 or 6 years after the original first print. It was like a 1 in 50 or a 1 in 100 variant. I believe it's a 1 in 50 variant, but it's I can't say rare, but it's definitely not a very common book, especially in high grade. I was able to acquire this after shipping and handling and taxes for $436.56. Far as I saw, it looked like a very high grade book, but of course, with a book, and I don't have to worry about seeing the grade because it's covered, but with a book with a lot of black, I mean, even fingerprints can lower the grade. So let's see. I predicted between 9.6 and a 9.8 with white pages. What did we get? Oh, I was definitely way off. And so was the seller, because they said it was a high grade. All right. So, black and white special edition, white pages, so I did get that right. So, hey, you win some, you lose some. So, I mean, did I overspend? I guess I'd have to see what the value of this book is, because it's not a common book. But it says multiple minor stress lines along the spine. Always hard to see those. Cover wear, 1.5-inch corner crease on back cover. Oh, wow, I never know. That had to have happened in shipping. Because there would have been, honestly, there would be no way I would have said that it was a 9.6 to a 9.8. But there is a big color break increase. Could have happened during grading. But, yeah, and it's hard to see the color creases on this book because it's all black and white. So, hey, you know, like I say, you win some, you earn some. Collector's Inventory Blue says DEI didn't earn it. Yeah, that's for sure. So, 7.0 for Spawn number 1. I might break even with it, but hey, you never know. Sometimes you got to roll the dice, but I think maybe that got damaged in the mail or something because I checked those books. Is what it is. All right, let's get to the next one. This is another signed book. This is, and it's not a newsstand, unfortunately, but X-Men 266. This one has 5 signatures. I paid a grand total of $426.50. Now, this one's a little bit lower grade than the other book, the New Mutants 98, because I bought both of these from that seller. I predicted between an 8.5 to 9.4. And, of course, I did the signature verification, so I'll go over that afterwards. Let's see what the grade is. All right, so what did I say? It was between an 8.5 and a 9.4, an 8.0. All right, so a little bit lower than what I thought again, but hey, you know, it is what it is. I never claimed to be an expert grader, and sometimes that's going to happen, but an 8.0 with 5 signatures, and of course, this is the first full appearance of Gambit, quote unquote. That is debatable. Some people will say it's the annual. I'll leave that up to the individual, but I think a lot of people like this because he is on the cover. Will Gambit be in the Deadpool movie? I guess we'll have to wait and see. I would love for them to do something with this character. It was one of my favorite 90s X-Men characters. Always loved Gambit, especially with Rogue when Jim Lee was drawing her. Amazing artwork. But off-white to white pages. I said white pages, so again, you know, pretty close. But it's signed by Andy Kubert, Joe Rubinstein, Tom DeFalco, Chris Claremont, and again, the late, great Stan Lee. So even with that being a little bit lower grade, I should do pretty decent on this book. Because just imagine if you were going to buy a book raw and get it graded, how much it would cost to verify 5 signatures. So to sell this book, I should do pretty well. So I think $426.50, even though it's only an 8.0, but that's still, you know, it's in the very fine range. Fine, very fine, I believe, or fine plus. I think it's very fine, actually. Still very happy with it. So we're getting lower grades than what I was hoping for. It is what it is, but let's see what the last one is. Now, this one I graded not by myself, but what the seller told me they said this is going to be. So we'll see if the seller knew what they were talking about or just trying to upsell something to make as much profit as possible. But we'll find out in a moment. But even with it, if it's even lower than what they predicted, I think I bought this at the right time. This, of course, is Werewolf by Night 32. First appearance of Moon Knight. I think a couple of months ago, this book hit rock bottom, in my opinion. Now, of course, you'll always find deals every now and then, which is something I encourage people to look for. But I think overall, the prices got to a certain point where people saw them as buying opportunities. So with shipping and handling, I paid $499.74 for this book. Now, the seller said this is between about a 6 and a 7 with off-white to white pages. Looks pretty good, so we'll see how close they got it. All right, so between 6 and a 7, it's a 6.5. So the seller was actually not exaggerating. And I'm very happy with a 6.5 for a Werewolf by Night for basically a little bit under $500. Off-white to white pages, what did I say? Off-white to white, so I actually got the colors right for once. So there you go. Looks, I'm very happy with that. Let's go over the greatest notes. And here's, like I said, if you want to add greatest notes to the back of your slabs, they'll put them on. Use the code WeLoveComics greatest notes. It's $5 per slab. But it says multiple stress lines along the spine. That seems to be the case of every single book I've ever purchased. Cover and edge wear, 1-inch corner crease on the front cover, and a 1/4 inch corner crease on the front cover. So that's why, it's not in the 8s or 9s. There's going to be some minor damage for a book in that range. Very happy with it overall. And this is a book, if you can acquire it, I don't foresee this book getting any cheaper. I mean, like I said, you'll find some discounts every now and then, and you go to just listed books. You never know. Somebody might be selling one as a giveaway. And I think for $500, $499.74 for a 6.5 of this book, I think I'll do very well with that. So those are the 4 books. So, of course, we got Werewolf by Night 32, 6.5. We got X-Men 266 at an 8.0. And the greatest notes on this just says multiple stress lines along the spine. 5 signatures on that one. This is the, I guess you would call it disappointed, but you guys know me. I'm never going to be like, oh my God, I'm going to crack it open and try and get a higher grade. It is what it is. Like I said, when it comes to a black book, it's going to be hard to see things. So, again, there's a back crease that I don't see how I could have missed that. So it had to have happened in the delivery process. Or it happened during grading. If it happened, hey, that's a first. So, again, in 6 years, it is what it is. But last but not least, 9.2 New Mutants 98 with 4 signatures. So those are the 4 books. Overall, I have to say, I'm never disappointed. Am I thrilled to death with some of the grades? I'm not going to go out and have a champagne party tonight for it. But you guys know me. I'm happy with whatever I get. And, like they say, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. You'll never see me like I've seen so many people, they're expecting a 9.8 and they get a 9.6 and they act like their house just crumbled around them. You're never going to see that here with me. So those are the 4 books. I would love to hear what you think about them. Do you think I got the shaft on them? Do you think I overpaid? Do you think I still got good deals, even despite the, for the overall part, the grades being a little bit lower than anticipated? Except for one, it went right in the middle. And let's do today's surprise subscriber shout out. So to be a surprise subscriber shout out outside of my Patreon members, you don't have to be a subscriber, but you can hit subscribe if you want. But all you have to do is be in the live chat during the live show. So we're going to go with Collector's Inventory Blue, and we're going to go with Big Dave Loves Comics. Both of you are today's surprise subscriber shout outs. What that entails is, once the video uploads in the comment section, which, by the way, I highly encourage anybody going into the comment section and leaving a comment. It does help my channel, and it's something that helps me be able to have something to do. I love reading comments. But once the video is uploaded, you can leave a comment. If you have a YouTube channel or a specific YouTube video you want to have people come and check out, you can put a link to either the specific video or to your channel. If you don't make YouTube videos, or you'd prefer to do a link to one of your social networks, you can do that instead. Or if you sell something on Amazon, Etsy, eBay, any of those places, and you'd rather share a link to something that you sell, you could post that link instead. I'll leave that up to you. Keep in mind, all links will go directly into spam at first, because I always verify every link that somebody places on my comment section. This keeps any spammers or trolls from putting inappropriate links onto my channel. So if you see a link, it means I verified it, and it's going to take you somewhere, for all ages. So go support them. And the people that leave the links, don't just leave a link. Introduce yourself. Tell people, if they click on the link, where is it going to take them to? That's your time to shine and advertise a little bit. If you just post a link without telling anybody what it's for, most people are probably never going to click on it. So do yourself a favor, introduce yourself, write a comment saying, to anyone that clicks on this following link, it's going to take you, for example, to my YouTube channel, which is all about comics. I welcome you, and I would love your subscription. And my name is blah, 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 by the way. Something like that might give somebody the incentive to go click on it. If you just put a comment where you just put your link and you don't say anything, there's no real incentive for people to go. So this is where you put in your little work and your little effort, minor stuff, to be able to maybe get some good rewards. And again, if you want to join my Patreon, every video I do, and now I'm up to 5 Patreon members, for as little as the minimum, which is $1 a month, I will do a shout out to at least your first name, or to a specific area, like for example, Silver Age Surfer underscore comics Instagram account. Go check them out and tell them that We Love Comics sent you. So if you join my Patreon and you want me every video, instead of just saying your first name or the beginning of your channel, if you have a link that you want me to put in instead and mention it, I'll do it. So no problems. So those are the 4 books. Let me know what you think. Tell me about the AI art you see, and I'd love to read your comments. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks to PGX. Link in the description for all the discount codes. Go give them a try if you haven't. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it's not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Peace out, my brothers.